Gathered friends, welcome to Rated Exploited. Like and subscribe to empower the world of Matanui. Each gesture strengthens unity with the Bionicle. Now, let us delve into the lore of LEGO Technic. I recall early in 2003, spring from my memory, opening up that single issue of LEGO magazine. First page on the inside of the cover showed the advertisement we hadn't expected, but welcomed with open arms. The announcement of Bionicle Mask of Light, the movie. Gave us another reason to look forward to the conclusion of 2003, along with Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. A CGI take seemed to be the way to go in bringing the medium into the film. As I had limited internet access, I saw screenshots before I ever saw footage. In fact, I didn't see the film in motion till it debuted on television the week of release. I insisted we rent a DVD copy from Hollywood Video, as I didn't want VHS anymore, a format I love for its content, but not its quality. What was I to expect upon my very first view? Honestly, I expected a continuation from the comic books, following the Toa and their strife against the Rock Sheep, and the mysterious discovery of the Mask of Light, and the 7th Toa being revealed. I truly love the sound effects leading up into the Miramax logo, and the steady transition into Nathan Furr's score really builds up the suspense. Not only is this the first LEGO movie, but the very first Bionicle adaptation. Christopher Gay's voiceover comes up in narration of Akama, detailing the legend of Matanui and his brother Makuta. Unlike the debut of the toy line 3 years later, our first character was not a Toa. In fact, it begins with Jala seeking out Takua within Takoro. Takua is introduced, followed by Puku, and finally our first Toa, Tahu. But no, the focus does not transition away from the two Matoran. What is a kid in 2003 to do or expect? We thought this film would be centered on the Toa. In fact, the cover shows the Mask of Light and Takanuva soon to be discovered. It is Takua's curiosity that brought him to the Mask of Light, and by flaring up on both him and technically Jala, blatantly proves these two are destined for the journey to discover a new brethren. While the Toa spread the news and face off against the Rakshi, Jala and Takua are venturing across Matanui in search of the mask guiding light to their destination. The most apparent observance relates to the comic book and novel form, knowing the characters, each of their personalities, and how they made a perfect transition into the movie. I have absolutely no anger toward the direction the movie's taking. I love seeing this world and characters I love in a new format, specifically the highest form of media available. Both hero and villain are gradually introduced throughout the movie. We're seeing a full three-dimensional establishment of Matanui in a greater detail than the comic books and even the video games could depict. But as the majority of depictions and mediums prior to the movie followed the Toa primarily, it was incredible to see them take on a supporting role, while the focus went to Jala and Takua, two Matoran from Takoro we didn't think of in this depth, but they have a bond, a connection, a brotherhood, the unity we associate within the lore and their fellow brethren of Matanui. There's no denial that us fans were absolutely spoiled with this movie, being such a perfect interpretation of what had been established by Bionicle. As I mentioned before, Miramax was the same company that pitched Lord of the Rings to be a single movie with drastic cuts, but here they are, making a less than an hour run of the very first LEGO adaptation, but doing it with such care and attention. I'm unaware what the studio was thinking. I'm oblivious to what LEGO was thinking, but I am forever thankful for what we have. Ultimately, this feature-length film is a story of two friends, while intertwining the unity, the duty, and the destiny, the three virtues in their role. I didn't have an appreciation for the three virtues until this movie, but the writers intertwined it so well into the characters. These themes are reflected throughout the movie, and you see it from the perspective of so many characters. There's debate, there's question, what applies to each of the virtues. Greg Weisman, the creator of Gargoyles, my #1 TV show, is a writer on this film, so I know he had a benefit. There's also a powerful moment for the character who became my most favorite in all of Bionicle because of this movie. It's the moment when Jala asks Matanui, "Where does my destiny lie?" and nearly dies falling off a cliff. It wasn't clear at first, but after so much speculation, I realized it about the same time Jala did. The revelation that Takua was meant to take on Makuta, the fact that he was the herald of the mask and the one destined to bear it. Matanui's answer was to protect Takua at all cost, and at worst, take the blow, and that's when Jala knew that he could not let anything happen to Takua. I like to think that the Matoran represent the cells of the body, Toa being the antibodies, so naturally, the Rakshi being the sons of Makuta essentially transmitted the virus and the same energy that is deadly to any of the cells. So when the energy was killing Takua, Jala stepped in and took the blow, leaving Takua to take his role as the 7th Toa. These two soon-to-be Toa were brothers from the beginning. Their journey tested their friendship, their loyalty, but especially their role. Jala was the first to realize Takua is the sole candidate, and he didn't think about his own life, but he felt his duty to Matanui was to protect Takua at all cost, even if it meant losing the life he had. As long as Takua could carry on, he could lead the Toa, Matoran, and Turaga to awaken Matanui. We did not want this, LEGO. We wanted a straightforward story, picking up from the Toa in the comic books, finding the 7th Toa, defeating Makuta, and awakening Matanui, possibly in a fashion like a 6th Ranger or Secret Ranger being introduced. But I give thanks to you, LEGO and Miramax, for blindsiding us, giving us something we didn't know we wanted, because we forever cherish this as not only the first LEGO movie, but the very first film adaptation of Bionicle. In my genuine opinion, I truly don't believe there could be a better LEGO franchise to start out in the movie venture. The toy line and lore continue to surprise, with each year more different than the previous. Now, this has been the Rated Exploited take on the expectation and reality of the first Bionicle movie. As we near the end of July 2022, we are 3 subscribers away from 300, so remember to leave a like, remember to subscribe to join the Tales of the Biological Chronicle. This is Rokalai, forever your fellow gamer.